The Akufo-Addo administration has promised to make Ghana one of the most business-friendly environments on the African continent. And the president in the State of the Nation address said the fiscal and monetary policies to achieve this target would be disclosed in the 2017 budget presentation scheduled for tomorrow. That is Thursday, the 2nd of March 2017. Enjoy Business heads out to pick the thoughts of a section of the business community on their expectations for various sectors where they work and others of relevant concern to them ahead of the budget presentation by the finance minister before Parliament.
Ghana is open for business. That was the statement of your president at his inauguration. So amidst this, we had promises of tax incentives for businesses, scraping off of the 17.5% taxes on airfares, and many other promises to allow businesses to grow. The budget is going to be read on the 2nd of March, that is this Thursday. So I'm going to interact with a couple of business folks to find out from them their expectations and where they think our money should go. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so the budget 2017 is coming up. Business folks, we want to find out where should our money go? What are you expecting? Let's start with you, David. You are into the petroleum sector. It's quite a crucial aspect of this economy. I mean, ever since the discovery of oil here, lots of revenues have been coming from it. We've been largely dependent on it. What are you expecting from the budget?
Well, with the petroleum sector, our expectation is big. In that, we see that though to the ordinary person, we think that we found crude in Ghana, and for that matter, fuel should come down. It's totally out of that. The crude we have in Ghana here is given out. So even when the product comes out, it's not consumed here. And even in our refinery here in Ghana, we are no more refining crude product here. So it means that all the petroleum product that we use is imported. The crude is done somewhere and it's imported into the country. Now, is it the government who is bringing it? No. Private people who are using their own resources to import these products. And the product is a refined product. Now, our main concern is that the government is banging its own, all the hopes in Ghana on this petroleum product that we bring. To the ordinary consumer, every day you see them crying, petroleum products are going up, the prices are going up, the prices are going up. Why is the price going up? It's the government who is making the prices go up. Because you go to the world market, the prices are fixed there, OTCs have fixed their price, BDCs go in there, negotiate and bring the product down. But government has found its own way of putting taxes on these products such that before the product gets to the final consumer, which is you and I, we can't afford to buy this. So our expectation is that the government, as a commitment and as a promise that they've made in this budget, they are going to say something which is positive such that most of the taxes, as they have already said, they are going to remove taxes on all other things, not only petroleum, but in all other things. But with the petroleum, we want them to reduce certain taxes because there are some of the taxes they can easily remove, but there are others that they cannot remove. But those that they cannot remove, which has LI backing, they can do something. They can go back to Parliament, pass another LI to reduce it. If you could remember, when VAT was initially introduced, the rate was high. Ghanaians demonstrated. And when they had such demonstrations, the government went back to Parliament, passed another LI to reduce the rates. So likewise, within the petroleum sector, there is something that we call SPT. And SPT simply means Special Petroleum Tax. That was just introduced last year. And it's 17.5. But the 17.5 is always calculated on the ex-refinery price. So what we are saying is that though it's an LI backing that thing, it can never be removed. But because they are using a percentage rate, meaning that when the ex-refinery price is going up, because it's a percentage, a fixed percentage, it keeps increasing. And when that increases and is added to the cost, the consumer finds it difficult buying. So what we are expecting is that the government will say that I'm removing it by putting another LI such that it will be a fixed rate, like 30 pesos, like 40 pesos, so that it will be a constant thing. So whether the ex-refinery goes up or comes down, that 30% will just be added to it so that the price doesn't escalate as it's been going. So that is one of our expectations. And also there are so many taxes. We have road levy, toll recovery. You know, toll recovery. We have always been recovering. What are we recovering? And how much have they gotten to recover such debt? We are not aware. This government will come say this, and this government will come and say this. So all those things need to be addressed properly so that Ghanaians, unlike those days, will now know that now there is a positive move and we are going to go forward on this.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, Tony, you've heard him. Petroleum sector, so many issues. You are in the marketing space. What are you expecting?
I think I agree with what my brother said. Basically, people budget themselves based on their income. And if the taxes are too high, sometimes it's quite difficult to have disposable income to spend. So I think, from my perspective, my view, if the taxes are reduced a little bit for consumers to have disposable income, because most of the time, people have expenditure. People have to pay their children's school fees, pay their bills, you know, and what takes a lot of money is food and petroleum. A lot of people spend much on transportation because everybody has to go somewhere. And people also eat. I mean, it's obvious that everybody eats. So if tariffs on utilities reduce a bit, I think that will help a lot. And I think with my expectation on the budget, also the president, he mentioned something about infrastructure, coming up with infrastructure, coming up with industry. And I think it's going to help. It's going to help with creating jobs for people to also be able to find work and gain income. Because in marketing, it's all about disposable money that you have to spend to buy your needs, to buy your wants, to buy everything that basically you need as in your hand to be up. So I think when tariffs are subsidized a bit, it will help the situation.
Yes, interesting. Yourself, you manage a business, you manage this space, a restaurant and all that. What are you expecting to help your business grow? Remember, the president has promised that Ghana is open for business. He's going to make the economy very comfortable for businesses. What are you expecting?
Well, what I'm expecting is whatever he said is going to do should be done so that everyone will have a better living standard in the country. For instance, in my industry that I'm in now, something like food is very, very expensive. Day in, day out, prices of food and items are going up. So if we can reduce the prices of food on the market so that it will be very flexible for everyone to consume, I think it's going to really help the business as well.
But how do you think we could reduce the prices of food? I mean, you go out there to buy food from the people. What are the complaints you hear, and how do you think we could address it?
Well, most of the markets, when they go like, the government is putting a lot of taxes on the item, so they also have to increase the prices so that they will be able to get their money. So I'm also thinking that if the taxes are also reduced on the items, it's really going to help. It's really going to help the business. Because I really have issues when customers come in here. Why am I paying VAT on food I'm eating? Why am I paying tourism levy on the food I'm eating? You give a whole lot of explanation, but they just don't want to listen to you. So if all these things can come down for us, we would be happy in this industry. Everybody will be happy and everybody will be comfortable.
Another issue that concerns all of us, everybody's going to comment on it, is the rate of lending. Credit here is quite expensive. If you should go to the bank today to get a loan, you're looking at 32%, 30%, 34%, for that 36%. Most people in other countries are able to get cars because getting a car loan is quite cheap, 6% and stuff. But over here, well, we all know the rate. What do you make of that, and what are your expectations to drive down the cost of credit?
Yeah, with that, cost of credit is very exorbitant in this country. Now, with this government, with regards to that, they've done it before. And I believe they can do it. Now, if you could remember, in some years back, when they were in power, they were able to stabilize the rate such that the bank rate came down, making lending rates very low. and everybody at that time could go for a loan. Even a truck driver, a chop bar operator at a corner could even access a loan. Banks were chasing people to come for loans to work, which people did, and people were flourishing. But today, what do we see? People cannot go for loans. Even a worker, a government worker, who wants a loan to support a housing project or whatever, cannot go. Because if we are basing on a base rate of about 32%, and the banks adding one or two things to make it about 36%, people fear to go for loans. These people have promised that they will make interest rates come down, and I believe they can do it. And when they are able to do it, you will see much improvement in the economy, such that everybody will be able to access a loan that he or she wants to do any business that he wants, and the country will enjoy it.
Okay, your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is that when the economy is stable, it attracts investors in. And you know, investors are going to help boost the economy. Definitely, they are going to help boost the economy. So as investors come in, as they invest in the economy, as they invest in businesses, the state of the economy will be stabilized, you know, to a certain point. That people can trade, people can invest, people can market, people can do everything they want to do. So I think investment is also very important, like getting investors to come in to invest in the economy.
And you think we can achieve that through bringing down the cost of credit?
Yes, definitely. Okay. We can achieve that. We can achieve that when we bring down the cost of credit. Because things are a bit on the high side, you know. When it comes to the bank rates, people complain. You see, you know, right now it has gone to the point where banks have to practically call you to come for a loan. But people are scared. People are scared because they know that when they analyze, they can tell they cannot pay within the grace period. And that means the next thing coming is your collateral. So people, so if the bank rates come down, investors come in, the economy is stable, then I think we can have a very good business relationship with others.
To add to that, if you take Ghana now, most businesses have collapsed. Simply because most of them went for huge loans,
They couldn't pay.
and now they cannot pay because of the interest element. And as a result of that, businesses collapse. People who are working in such industries and companies have been laid off, and they are all in the house. So these all have contributed to the mass unemployment that are in the country. So if bank rate comes down and interest rates come down, businesses will flourish again, and unemployment and the whole hula baloo